Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Anggita Prameswari and my name is 332200106. Today I want a presentation about culture shock and gesture with a case study. The first is definition of culture shock is a psychological and emotional reaction experienced by individuals when they enter a new cultural environment that differs significantly from their own. According to Obert 1960, culture shock is the anxiety that results from losing all our familiar signs and symbols of social intercourse. It's similar with some of Porter and McDaniel 2017. And this is characteristic of culture shock. The first is confusion and disorientation, emotional stress, communication difficulties, cultural misunderstanding. And this is example of a culture shock in classroom interaction. In Indonesian, students usually show respect by listening quietly and speaking only when invited by the lecturer. However, in many Western universities, students are expected to actively participate. This is culture shock because the student faces confusion and discomfort due to different academic norms and communication style. The next is example number two in everyday social behavior. When person visiting Japan, it be culture shock because in Japan, bowing is commonly used to show respect and politeness, but in many other cultures, people usually greet each other by shaking hands or simply saying hello. This is culture shock because the individual may feel uncertain about how to greet others appropriately. And this is why culture shocks happens. The next is gesture. Gesture is a form of non-verbal communication that involves body movements, particularly the hands, arm, face, or head to convey meaning. According to Hall and Hogan 2014, gesture are movement of the hands, arm, or body that express ideas or emotion and accompany or replace verbal communication. And this is characteristic of gesture. The first is non-verbal communication, culture-specific, expressive function, interactive function, and flexible and adaptable. Example number one of gesture is waving hand. Waving hand is the common gesture used to greet someone or say goodbye. The example is gesture because it communicates meaning without words. The example number two is thumbs up gesture. Giving a thumbs up is a gesture used to show approval, agreement, or encouragement. This is gesture because it expresses emotion or attitudes non-verbally. And this is why gestures are important. And this is case study number one, stereotype of Chinese Indonesian. What type of stereotype is presented in this case? Is a positive stereotype with elements of a general cultural assumption. It assumes that Chinese Indonesians are naturally skilled in mathematics, business, and commercial activities. Uh, this stereotype is considered positive because it attributes seemingly favorable abilities to change an ethnic group. The next is what are the negative impacts of this stereotype on Chen? The negative impacts in emotionally, she may feel pressure, stress, and frustration for not meeting the expectation associated with her ethnic. In socially, people around her may treat her differently or make assumptions about her abilities, potentially causing misunderstanding or tension in interactions. In academically, she might be unfairly judged by teacher or peers for not excelling in mathematics or related subjects despite her actual strength and interest. In culturally, the stereotype reinforces rigid assumptions about her ethnic group, ignoring her individuality and personal choices. The next is, are there any positive impacts of stereotype? Uh, while the stereotype may seem positive because it attributes skills in mathematics and business to Chinese Indonesian, its benefits are fairly limited. One potential positive impact is that Chen Chen might initially be trusted with tasks involving numbers or financial matters, as people may assume she is capable. The next is what specific stereotype is highlighted in this case. It's a Chinese Indonesian are naturally good at mathematics, business, and commercial activities. This assumption influenced by the way people perceive Chen Chen by creating unrealistic expectation. People around her may expect her to excel in counting, managing money, or running a business. And this is case study. A student summary based on the presentation given by Will King. The slide explain the differences in communicating and meaning across cultures. According to a slide created by Mr. Aaron Fox, differences in cultural meaning can influence interpretation or perspective. In a British style, direct and debate is common practice during proposal review. In a British style, in honest feedback can improve our skill. Is a criticism or suggestion. The goal is to gain constructive criticism, suggestion, and new knowledge so that everyone can improve. But in Indonesian style, direct and debate can be interpreted very negatively. Debate is conflict, direct is criticism, is a form of protecting harmony. So the problem isn't language but rather different perspective and cultural meanings. The same words have different meanings. To solve the problem, Mr. Aren began changing his communication style to soft, implied harmony, focus, and protect feelings, so the same language doesn't mean the same meaning and understanding. This is the case study number 3. How does this situation show that body language can lead the culture shock? This situation demonstrates that body can contribute to culture shocks because Amran encounters a gesture that has a different meaning in his culture compared to the American context. In Indonesian, raising a hand with fingers spread is interpreted as a signal to stop, whereas in the United States it commonly used as casual greeting or wave. It confusion and accidentally making Amran unsure how to respond. The next is what cultural factor influence the meaning of body language. Is shaped by cultural norms, social convention, and shared interpretation within a specific society. In this case, uh, the same gesture carries two different messages because Indonesian culture associated the raised hand with a stopping signal, while American culture is a friendly greeting. The next is what negative effects might this misunderstanding have on Amran interaction with others. The misunderstanding may lead to several negative effects on Amran's social interaction. He may experience embarrassment or anxiety if he reacts incorrectly to gesture. And this is what problem-solving strategies can help Amran handle the situation. Amran can use several practical strategies. He can politely ask for clarification when unsure about a gesture meaning, observing local social cues and learning about common gesture in new culture can help him adapt. And this is about my presentation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.